Hello, Dr. Shar here, and welcome to our 200th podcast on teaching humanity remotely. Today, I just want to celebrate this momentous occasion of making 200 podcasts. And I want to really say that the most important reason I do this is because I think it's critical to make sure that I am continuing to be a contributing member to my community and to society. And I think that in order to ensure that vision and that goal that I have, I need to stand in the face of always making sure that I am creating acts of service, that I am here to be served upon, to serve others, and that it's in that service that I also get served. It's similar to the philosophy that generosity leads to generosity. And it's really true. Recently, I went to students of mine that are now high school graduates, and I went to their high school graduation, and I realized that one reason I was so connected to these students was because they had such incredible emotional generosity. They were so open-hearted, they were full of wonder, but in their open-heartedness, they gave so much emotionally, and it fed me so much that it allowed me to give so much, and so on and so forth. So it's really, the secret is that it's in the giving that you get to keep something, and these young people knew that even at a young age of 4, 5, and 6, and then they grew up to be beautiful young adults inside and out, and still so open emotionally and still full of wonder in their desire to learn. And they have the secret of being emotionally generous and also being able to have the need and intention and attention to make sure that they are always doing acts of service. And in that, they get served. That's why we're here. We're animals that are social by nature. And so we need to ensure that we are connected and contributing socially. And everything else is just learning lessons. Everything else that we are here for is to learn the best version of ourselves, to accept the parts of us that are not our best, to be gentle with ourselves, to have an attitude of gratitude, to not take ourselves too seriously, and to know that we're all works in progress. As long as I'm alive, I am a work in progress. I have opportunity for improvement. I have opportunity to exceed. I have opportunities where I'll fail certain things. But as long as I'm alive, I can navigate through all of these different opportunities to become my best self. And sometimes I won't measure up. The other day, I just had a really hard day. My son was in the hospital for 3 weeks. I was tired. That tiredness was catching up on me. And I just realized that this too is going to pass, and to not take this one moment too seriously, and to also not deny it. This is the kind of day that you just, you rest and you just allow yourself to not have to be any better than you are. Those are okay. It's okay. It's okay to allow yourself to get a break and to model that for your children and to allow your children to get a break and to still have an attitude of gratitude to know that this is a day that I can take a break. And then the next day comes and maybe I can do better the next day and maybe I feel better and maybe I'm able to be more available and more generous and maybe I can do more acts of service. But when I'm tired, when I need to be served, I need to be open to that too, because it's all about being balanced and having a balanced life. And I just wanted to acknowledge that on my 200th podcast, I want to celebrate with an attitude of gratitude, not only for the great, easy stuff, but for the ways in which we're able to overcome obstacles and transform our obstacles into opportunities, and for the ways in which we're beginning to understand that everything is really about modeling, and that we either teach our children directly with the intentionality of what we want them to learn, what we want them to be paying attention to, or we're going to teach them indirectly with maybe what we don't want them to learn. And it's important for us to note and mark what's going on for ourselves and our children so that we can teach those which we assume they know. Never assume what your child knows. And your child may not know so much of what they don't know that they don't even have the skill to ask for the clarification. So make sure, check for understanding. Make sure that what you're saying is being heard and being understood. And know when it's time to talk and when it's time to listen and when it's time to just be quiet and when it's time to enjoy the silence together, and be sensitive and make sure you're talking with your children and not at your children, and all of these important skills that we speak about all the time and that you write me to address when you email me at learnwithmeremotely@gmail.com. I respond to you. I care about what you have to say. This is as much a teaching and learning opportunity for all of us. When a question's posed to me and I get to reflect upon it and then address it through this podcast, I'm learning as much as I'm teaching. We're in it together. I feel like this is more like a collaborative partnership of subjects that we're all interested in. We all want to be able to remember and have an attitude of gratitude. We all want to not take ourselves too seriously. We all want to know that it's in acts of service that we are more fulfilled, and that's the purpose of being here, to be contributing. We're all connected, and through our differences, we get to see learning lessons, and we also get to see, even through our differences, we get to see where there's common ground. And it's not about being the same. It's about being accepted even in my difference, and allowing your children to learn that as well is so critically important. So thank you for being with me for 200 episodes. There's many more to come. Please, again, continue to write to me and I'll respond to you. And also feel free to look at my books at Dr. Mindy Shaw's paperback at Amazon. Be well until next time. Let's celebrate that we are all connected and together and working through this life as best as we can. Good days, bad days, horrible days, beautiful days, and that we have the power and opportunity to choose that which will make us feel the most fulfilled and the most whole, and that we're doing that together within this community. Be well until next time.